Who says eating healthy can't taste good? We'll talk to the iconic leader of Icon Meals next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I've got to confess, there have been times in my life when I've been, let's just say, soft, and there are times when I've been in peak physical condition. And one of the things that plagues everybody who's trying to lose weight or stay in shape is convenience. You know, sometimes it's just easier to drive through a Chick-fil-A. But you can have great tasting food that is also convenient. And to talk about that today, Todd Abrams, he's the CEO of Icon Meals. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Well, I want to hear your journey because we have all this product out here. And how did this start for you?
Yeah, so for me, it was more a passion project. During my entrepreneurial journey, I really never worked for anyone else. I had a few other businesses, but when I came to this, my background has been in tech and software application development. Came to food, and people were like, why are you going to food? And it was, like I said, more a passion project. Me growing up, not necessarily being in the shape I'm in today. I grew up throughout high school and adolescence. My nickname was Lumpy.
Oh, my.
So well overweight. Knew that the importance of food, but just, again, food for me was taking in calories, working out, but not necessarily knowing what I needed to eat. And even though I was athletic, again, carried that name up to pretty much college, being
No kidding.
that overweight kid.
And I promise you, I've seen pictures of this man. We have a gun law here. You're not allowed to carry those into the building. So, but tell us how you developed this.
Sure. Yeah, it came from basically a requirement of what I wanted to eat. I was picky. We started the company looking at being able to, that element of convenience, right? Couldn't find a lot of different options that were out there. There's a few other companies in the industry when we started 6 years ago, and from that standpoint, just didn't like the way they did things, right? There was different preservatives put in it. Again, picky, so I wanted what we wanted, so we figured that if we could create it, I'd eat it, and again, we sort of carried that moving forward. We would never create anything that we won't eat, so it sort of came out of that element of convenience and necessity.
Okay, so we're going to show an overview video because this tells people how this is done.
Awesome.
Chef Danny here. I'm going to briefly walk you through the processes here at Icon Meals. First, we'll start with our prep room. Follow me. This is our prep room where I'm standing at. All of our product is brought into this room, hand trimmed, prepped, and marinated before it's sent out to the kitchen to cook. What makes us different? We are a state-inspected, HACCP certified facility. So all of our raw products have to be prepped in this room. Once your food is safely prepped in our sanitary room, then it's time to cook. We built our HACCP certified cooking facility around USDA state-inspected guidelines. Once your food has been properly cooked, we then cool and monitor for safety here in our blast chiller. Once it's properly chilled, then we bring it to plating. This is where all of our meals get plated and properly portioned to hit your macros. Once your food has been portioned, then we seal. Due to vacuum sealing, now your food has an extended shelf life and prolongs the freshness. Once your food is in shipping, it is then packed in dry ice to ensure the safety of your meals and then shipped next day air.
I am so impressed. I have to ask, it must be fun coming up with these recipes. I know you have a whole team around you, but do you like lay awake at night saying, you know, I wonder if we could do this?
Yeah, I think at the start, when we started the company, there was a lot more, right? Because we weren't USDA certified, we weren't under HACCP and stuff. So it was like, hey, throw this and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And it is fun, right? I enjoy food. I love food. So we do tastings once a week where we come up with, I'll call it whatever different meals we want. We'll give them to the chef. We'll give them to the nutritionist, and then we'll sort of vet those out, come up with the ones we like, fine tune them. And it's a process. We really have sort of a year menu planned out now, just based on all the different restrictions and stuff we're under. So again, putting in different ones that fit, and then we'll fine tune the ones that we want and move forward with approval from there.
And you can ship across the country?
Yeah, so our business from day one, we ship all across the U.S., including Puerto Rico, Hawaii, overnight, via next day FedEx in most parts. And yeah, so service basically you would have your meals when you order within 48 plus hours.
Wow. Okay, COVID, did it help your business?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was actually the business grew at 58% that year in 2020. We also started taking on some business from some larger hotel chains and stuff, just based on them furloughing a bunch of their kitchen staff.
Yes.
So as we were sort of progressing towards the end of 2020 into 2021, you had a lot more requirements that couldn't be met by current staff situations. So we were able to produce meals based on the packaging. Our cryovac packaging met a lot of requirements. So we did a lot with healthcare workers as well, where in the past they might have gone in and had a lunch and learn where there was food put out on the table. But during COVID, they were much more, hey, they wanted it to be individually wrapped, sealed. So under here, there's no pathogens that can get back in those meals. The doctors like them where they could be individually, one doctor taking it off. So it was, and direct to consumer went really a lot more. It was pretty crazy.
So when people say to you, it can't taste good if it's healthy, you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree. That's the biggest thing. People always think I think that diet food, right? It has to be chicken, rice, and this and that. And it's not. I think the biggest surprise is people say as well in the packaging, how does it taste good? But when you take this off after a minute in the microwave or whatever, it's locked in the freshness, and a lot of people are blown away by the taste. It was funny because when we first went to this packaging, they're like, hey, did you get a new chef? Blah, blah, blah. And so from that standpoint, the taste is, I think, one thing that blows people away. And again, healthy doesn't necessarily mean bad tasting. It's, again, how it's put together. I think that's one of the biggest, frustrations. There's a lot of meal prep companies out there today, but they're not all, it's not apples to apples.
Yeah.
So.
And snack food. I mean, this is the land of Frito-Lay here, but you can have really healthy snacks that taste amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so the biggest thing for us was our first line back in 2015 was where we came up with protein popcorn, and we wanted something that people enjoyed, right? We went and looked at, hey, what is that? Well, we started off with dark chocolate sea salt. So dark chocolate sea salt on popcorn. People like the popcorn. They like that sweet, savory. We came up, and it's a standard for us where you have 10 grams of protein per serving, and that's sort of what we've rolled our complete different snack line in. But I call it better bad choices, right? Wow. Rather than going and grabbing that bag of Frito-Lay or Doritos or whatever. Again, if you can accommodate the palate and have healthier options, again, it's a win-win.
Okay, I can tell that you're an empire builder. Where do you see all this going?
For us, I think we're just scratching the surface. I really say we were in a smaller facility in Frisco for the first few years. We've got a much larger facility right down by your offices, and again, working out of roughly 33,000 square feet right now. But again, expansion, we have growth. We look to have opportunities on the East Coast and West Coast. So from a distribution standpoint, it just establishes our network rather than just shipping out of Dallas. It allows us to reach a lot more people in a lot closer proximity in a smaller amount of time.
Okay, so if people want to get this, they can order online or go to one of your
stores?
Yeah,
they can go to in Dallas, we have two of our own retail stores. But again, 98% of our business is probably online. Yep. You can go to iconmeals.com, but then you can also pick, or if you're in the DFW area, you could select a pickup location. So you can actually order your food online, but then have it picked up within closer proximity to your house for free. Yes. Again, if not through FedEx or someone else, one of our other carriers will be delivered to you within 24 hours, either way in the DFW area.
We are almost out of time, but you have some amazing partnerships that you've developed. Do you want to talk about some of them?
Yeah, for sure. One of the biggest ones for us, we've been doing the food for UFC, so Ultimate Fighting Championships, for the past, 6 or 8 months. We do all the work inside the PI, so working with their dietitians and working with their strength training coaches to put programs together. So on a weight cut, it's not just that slammed 8 weeks. It's more or less how do you build a lifestyle, sustainable lifestyle. And for the UFC, it was a great fit because the fighters are their assets, right? And it's the question is, what do your fighters eat and how do they train? So again, it goes hand in hand. Another big one we have this year made a lot of sense for us was the USA Triathlon Association. Again, those people need the fuel to be at their best. And again, during COVID, we worked a lot with the USA bobsled team. People say, "Hey, bobsled team," it's pretty interesting. But doing the different stuff for them to put their diets together and into their training.
And those are big names, and those are people who kind of live and die by their body down to the last gram. So getting those kind of partnerships really speaks volumes about your food.
Yeah, we've also done a lot with the NFL combines.
Nice.
So every year for the past 4 or 5 years, we've basically been doing those combines. But again, love the partnerships, love what we do, and the opportunity to really just introduce food to people.
Outstanding. We're going to end with your website. Iconmeals.com is the website. Todd Abrams, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now.
Awesome.
We'll see you next time.